Alright, now I know I have a track record to say this in the beginning of my videos, but I'm gonna say it again. The time of me recording this video is April 11th, 2025, approximately 2 years away from the Zelda movie's alleged release date. Now, I'm not that excited for the Zelda movie as you might think I am, because it is a walking recipe for disaster. We'll get more into that later on, but we're gonna talk about the Zelda movie because not only did you vote for this video, but you guys also voted for the Switch to UI video, but that's a video for another day. So in November of 2023, 7 months after the Super Mario Bros. Movie debuted in the box office and absolutely fucking crushed it, Miyamoto announced on Nintendo's Japanese Twitter account that he had been working on the Legend of Zelda movie for, quote, many years now, and he would be working with Sony, more specifically, Avi Arad. I would talk about him more in this video, but considering the movies that he's made, he's not worth me giving the time of day into. So we're gonna leave him out for this video. But he does have a massive role in the Zelda movie's production. But back to Miyamoto. He said that the Zelda movie was in development for a long time. He was working with Sony, and it was going to be live action. He didn't give a release date, and that was all we got. Until a couple weeks ago where Nintendo announced on their newly launched app at the time, Nintendo Today, that the Zelda movie would release worldwide on March 26, 2027. He also said a couple days later, not Miyamoto, but still, a rumor came out that the Zelda movie was going to be greenlit for an entire trilogy. Now, the Zelda fan base was obviously divided. You have your casual Zelda fans who are excited that the Zelda movie is even happening at all, and you have your hardcore Zelda fans, which is the category I fall into, where on one hand, we're kind of cautiously excited about the Zelda movie, but on the other hand, we're also disappointed as to what it's going to be like. It's live action, like I said earlier, they're working with Avi Arad, and they're going to be working with Sony, which, excluding the Spider-Verse movies, the last good movie Sony put out was The Amazing Spider-Man, so that's a huge red flag. When it comes to who's going to play our big three, Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, me personally, I do not have my cast on what the Zelda movie should have. A lot of people don't think Tom Holland should be Link, and I'm one of those people. As much as I love Tom Holland as not only a Spider-Man, but just an actor in general, he's in way too many damn movies nowadays, and they need to leave him out of this. No offense. One trend that the Zelda movie shouldn't fall into is a common trend nowadays with Hollywood is casting big-budget Hollywood actors. Tom Holland being a big-budget Hollywood actor, considering he plays one of, if not the most popular superhero of all time. So a lot of people don't want him to be Link in the Zelda movie. Again, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man and as an actor, but they need to leave him out of this. Cast a smaller known actor, someone who hasn't been in that many movies and someone who isn't that well known, and you have your perfect Zelda movie. And the same thing goes for Zelda and Ganondorf. Now, Zelda fans out there are debating whether or not this movie should adapt from a game or it should have an original story like the Mario movie did. Me personally, I think the Zelda movie adapting from a game is the best idea. I was watching a video by Big Flick Energy about the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, and his personal pitch for the Zelda movie had something to do with Skyward Sword and how Skyward Sword would adapt for the Zelda movie. Now, I 100% agree with this because Skyward Sword is the easiest Zelda game to adapt from. It's the first game in the series chronologically, so there's not much to it, and it's a perfect origin story for Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf. But we have to remember that this movie is going to be live action and not animated, so I'm pretty sure the Lost Wings from Skyward Sword are going to look absolutely fucking terrifying, maybe even worse than the CGI dwarfs in the Snow White movie, but we're not talking about that. And I can only imagine what Groose is going to look like, if he's even going to be in the movie at all. But Skyward Sword serves as a perfect origin story for the Zelda movie, and for the second movies, we don't know. Alright, now I don't mean to rant, but I do want to talk about the live action aspect of the Zelda movie. Now, in my opinion, I think the Zelda movie should have been animated. You're working with Sony, so why not just get the same people who animated the Spider-Verse movies and get them to animate the Zelda movie? And my message to the people who are making the Zelda movie, Miyamoto included, not all Zelda fans are adults. There are some Zelda fans out there who are children, who played Breath of the Wild, who played Tears of the Kingdom, who've seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie and are most likely going to see this movie. And if Nintendo is making a cinematic universe and they potentially make a Super Smash Bros. Movie, how the fuck is that going to work? The Mario movie is animated. This movie is going to be live action. So if they made a Super Smash Bros. Movie, how is this going to work? My thoughts exactly. So how is Nintendo going to pull this off if they made a Super Smash Bros. Movie, which is most likely not going to happen? But, like I said earlier, not all Zelda fans are adults. There are Zelda fans out there who are children, who probably played Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and are most likely going to see the Zelda movie. So making this movie 100% inspired by Lord of the Rings is not a good look. I would fix pretty much everything about the Zelda movie except one thing. It's going to be made by Sony, which, like I said earlier, if the Zelda movie is going to be made by Sony, why is it going to be animated? Why can't you just get the same people who animated the Spider-Verse movies and get them to animate the Zelda movie in the same art style? But it's fun to dream, I guess. But I would change everything else about the Zelda movie. It being live action, it being co-produced by Avi Arad, which, again, Avi Arad also made Morbius and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and after looking at those movies, I don't think he should be allowed anywhere near a movie like this, especially a video game movie, and a lot of people hate him, which is not really a good look for a movie like this, but that's just me. But I would fix pretty much everything else about the Zelda movie, and the 2-year release date is kind of boring to me. I do think maybe 2026 would be good. Nintendo can make 2 movies a year like Marvel did at one point. They can release Mario movie 2 and the Zelda movie in the same year, but it's Nintendo. They love to make us wait an extended long time for things to come out. Look at how long Mario movie 2 is coming out since the Mario movie. They love to make us wait a long time for things, so yeah. That's just my take on what I think I would fix about the Zelda movie. In general, if I had to be 155 million% deadass with you guys, I'm not that excited about the Zelda movie. It's my second favorite video game franchise of all time behind Mario, and I don't want Sony to ruin it. I trust Nintendo, but I don't trust Sony. I know they made the Spider-Verse movies, but other than that, they haven't made a good movie in years. So I don't want them to massacre the Zelda movie and make it your typical big budget Hollywood movie, the same way Borderlands was. And like their Sony Cinematic Universe with Madam Web, even though I like that movie, Kraven the Hunter, and Morbius. But that's all I have to say about the Zelda movie. Let me know if you guys are excited for it, or are you mildly disappointed. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. This is Dallas M, and I'm out.